Hello and welcome back. And today I've got for you a pipe that I think is kind of special. This is a recent eBay find, and I was pretty excited to get this pipe. I had heard about them, uh, and when I saw the chance to pick this one up for a pretty reasonable price, it was just about $15. Um, I was pretty happy about that. This pipe is not a great quality pipe. It's a mass-produced pipe, and I'll tell you a bit about the history. However, I doubt you're going to be able to actually read the imprint here, but I'll try to post some still pictures at the end of the video that show it a bit better. This is an LL Bean pipe. Written on here is LL Bean and Freeport, Maine underneath. Has this nice orange diamond logo, and on the other side it simply has imported briar. Yeah, so LL Bean, the hunting and fishing outfitter that you all know and probably some of you love, actually did sell not only pipes but pipe tobacco. And I know this is hard for people to comprehend in this politically correct age, but the truth is LL Bean did, so did Disney for that matter, which is even harder for some people to come to terms with. But yeah, there was a time when pipe smoking was recognized as a perfectly acceptable part of a man's life, and it was before all the political correctness and health scares and everything else came along. I don't want to get too much into that, but just a sort of a symbol of a bygone era, one that I kind of wish hadn't gone by. So these LL Bean pipes, they were made, well, they were sold by LL Bean starting in 1940 and sold up through the mid-1980s. They were actually manufactured by a company called Briarcraft, and Briarcraft produced what was called the Smokemaster pipe, and these LL Bean pipes are actually Smokemasters. The Briarcraft went out of business, and the Smokemaster name was actually acquired by Dr. Grabow, the famous drugstore pipe manufacturer that's still in business today. That happened in 1967, and Grabow purchased the Smokemaster name and continued to supply LL Bean with these pipes up until Bean stopped selling them in the mid-80s. Now, there's really nothing special about these. If you're familiar with it, with the Grabow, you've seen pipes like this. You know, they're reasonable quality. They smoke fine. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not a high-end pipe, and weren't intended to be. You know, these are a hunting fishing pipe. I have no idea what LL Bean sold them for in terms of what the price point was, but I'm guessing, knowing LL Bean, it was a bit higher than it should have been, but probably still somewhat reasonable compared to what we pay for pipes these days. This particular pipe is actually in very good condition, and I'll take you through some of what I'm looking at when I'm deciding what the condition of the pipe is. And the reason I wanted to show this one was I'm going to restore it, and I'm going to do this as probably, well, it is going to be a multi-part video. I don't know exactly how many parts, but I'll take you through the steps that I take, not in a major restoration, because this pipe is actually in very good shape, but this is sort of more what approach I would take if I was deep cleaning one of my own pipes, maybe a pipe that I had neglected and skipped around. So this is probably a little bit dirtier than I'd let mine get, but you get some idea of that deep cleaning process that I mentioned in an earlier video. So just looking at the quality of this pipe, if I was picking this up and deciding whether or not I wanted to buy it, knowing that it was an estate pipe and is used, the stem is in really excellent condition. There is some tooth chatter on it, so I don't know how well that'll show up, but there definitely is a little bit of chatter there and some up around here. But the button is in good condition. This lip at the end of the stem is called the button, and that is still very crisp. In fact, this looks like it was very lightly smoked. If we transition down here to the bowl, you can see there is some marring around the rim, and I believe a lot of that is going to come off. I think it's mostly staining and not charring, and I'll show you how we get that off. Inside the bowl itself, I'll get out the flashlight here to help you see down in there. You can see it has been smoked. There is some carbonization there. Not a lot of cake buildup, a little bit. So I'd guess that this was smoked more than... So again, there is some carbonization, not anything terrible. The drilling, however, is pretty awful. I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch this just right so you can see where the hole is exiting, but partly because of where it's exiting. There you go. It's actually quite far back, pretty much on the rear chamber. You'd like to see that moved forward quite a bit and well centered. So again, this is not a top quality pipe, but clearly someone smoked it a bit, and we're going to get it back into the shape where we can smoke it a bit ourselves and see how she works. Other things that I'm looking at here as I look over this, there are clearly some fills. If you notice this light colored spot right here, that is an area where there was a sand pit in the briar, and rather than choose this for rustication or a sandblast, the manufacturer filled that with a sort of putty and then just sanded it off and treated it as if it was a non-blemish pipe. There are a couple of these fills. Some of them are quite small. There's one right up in here that you probably can't quite catch because it is rather small. And there is one little point here that's going to be really difficult for you to see, where I don't know if it was never filled or if the fill has come loose. Typically what you'd want to do there is refill it. You know, if this was a pipe that I was going to try to give to someone or perhaps to sell, I'd want to refill that, and probably this is a case where I'd want to take out these fills because they're kind of ugly, and choose something that matched the grain a bit better. But this, I'm just cleaning it up because it's a sort of a historical curiosity that I want to keep for my own collection, and you know, things like that add a little bit of character, so I'm not too bothered by it. One of the neat things about this pipe is, other than the fact that it's made by LL Bean, is that it is a Smokemaster, and I'm willing to bet that most of you have not seen a Smokemaster. I had read about them. This is the first one that I've actually handled, and it's a rather unique system. So if I remove the stem, as you can see, there's a rather odd accumulation of items there at the end that you probably weren't expecting. This pipe has a unique dry smoking system that was the Smokemaster, actually Smokemaster patented it, and it's composed of a metal tube, which is right here, that sits on top of a folded over pipe cleaner. And unfortunately we're actually getting the last smoker's pipe cleaner still in place. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. It pulls out pretty easily. I just don't really want to grab my fingers on it. So I'll use these pliers. You can see this is actually just a pipe cleaner that's been bent in half and stuffed down into the stem. This metal rod, or metal tube I should say, you can see this is a tube, actually has a slot in it that runs its entire length. Sorry, had to pause the video there. One of the hazards of recording this in a basement shop is that sometimes the furnace comes on and you won't be able to hear me. So as I was saying, this pipe cleaner sits below this tube. The tube condenses moisture from the smoke, and if you've ever smoked a pipe with a stinger, you know that well, in my opinion at least, a stinger tends to condense a lot of moisture and make the smoke wetter, or at least gurgle more. The idea here was that this slot would allow a place for the moisture to fall through and be collected by the pipe cleaner. And from the looks of this pipe cleaner, it may well have worked. So I'm looking forward to trying this out, although not with this lovely historical artifact, which will be thrown away. The stem is specially designed for this. You can see the tube pulls out completely, and again it has this slot along its entire length. The stem itself has a rather unique drilling where it's got these three lobes in it. So the top lobe takes the tube, and the bottom two lobes take the pipe cleaner. So just to show you how that would work, this tube goes back in. This is the bottom of the stem, so I'm going to squeeze that a bit. I'll have to open that up again. The bottom of the tube, there we go, faces the pipe cleaner, and then just a standard pipe cleaner is bent in half, squeezed at the top, and then we take advantage of those two lobes at the bottom, just kind of slide this all the way in, trying not to stab our fingers in the process with the tube. Would make for an interesting video. Well, obviously I haven't practiced this, but that's the basic idea. And then this whole mess is inserted down into the shank of the stummel, and supposedly that's going to give us a very dry, carefree smoke. We'll we'll see. Okay, so like I was saying, this pipe is in relatively good condition. I do want to do a little bit of work on it, try to get rid of this staining on the top, clean up the stem a bit, run pipe cleaners through it, make sure that it's clean inside, and you know, it's an estate pipe, so you want to use some alcohol and sterilize it. I haven't decided if I'm going to ream this or not. It doesn't seem to have very much cake, but there is some, if I put my finger down in there, it seems a little bit uneven, and I'm worried about that because I don't want to have an uneven cake build on this, so I may ream it. And we'll do this in steps, so I think I will stop at this point, and in the next video we'll begin to work on the stummel portion of the pipe, reaming it out and cleaning the rim. So thank you, and I hope you found this interesting. If you have any thoughts, or if you have any experience with these sorts of pipes, either Smokemaster system or LL Bean pipes more generally, please let me know, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.